Hello.
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 Good
Yeah,
evening,
yes.
sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Sir. Hello.
Screen full. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today, uh, as we have already seen how to create packages and how to compile packages programs and how to run them. Now let us see how to use packages and access specifiers together so that we can use one class which is defined in one package in another class which is defined in another package. So we'll see together two topics: how to import the packages into our program. So in the previous class, we have seen how to create packages and how to compile them, and how to run that program on within that same package. But now, what is the purpose of package? We need to create packages and put them in separate folder, and we need to import that packages into another program where we can simply create objects for those classes in that package, newly created package, and access the methods and other members of the class by using that object. Right? So for that, we can either use the import keyword, or there is another way. Instead of importing the package, we can directly mention the package name dot class name. So we'll use the second methodology, package name dot class name, because we have already used the import statement for built-in packages. For user-defined packages, let me use the second way of importing package, that is use the package name and then dot class name. So let me show you with an example sample program. We'll have totally two different packages we are going to create. First, let me show you this program, how to create a package and how to add a class. We have already seen. So in this program, what I'm doing is I'm creating a package called P1, and you know the access specifiers also, right? Already we have discussed about the different access specifiers in the previous classes. But let me list out those access specifiers once again. Specifiers is public, is protected. Third one is called public. Fourth one is private. So let me also mention the keywords for these access specifiers. For public, keyword is public. Protected, keyword is also protected. Coming to default public, don't have any keyword. So there is no keyword for default public. That means what? If we don't use public keyword or protected keyword or even private keyword, then automatically it will become default public. So for private, the keyword is private. So if you are not using this keyword or this one, any of these three, then automatically the access specifier of that particular class or method or variable will become default public. So till now we were not using this public keyword or private keyword or protected keyword anywhere in our program, except that we use public keyword with the main method, right? We use the public keyword with the main method, but the remaining things we didn't use because we didn't use protected or private for any class or even public. So automatically what will happen? The access specifier of that particular class or variable or method will be default public. Okay, so if you don't use any of these three keywords, then it will become default public. So what is the difference between all these four access specifiers? What do you mean by public? What do you mean by protected? What do you mean by default public? And what do you mean by private? First, let me explain you about what is public. Or we'll start with private first, then go to default public, protected, and public. Say, for example, in our program, we are going to take two packages, right? P1 and P2 packages we are going to take. Program. Now, we are going to define totally six different classes. Let me list out those two classes. One class that we are going to define in P1 is protection, and under P2 also we are going to define another class called protection 2. Okay? And under P1 again, we have another class called same package. In P2 you have another class called other package. All these are class names. So under P1 these are the two classes, protection same package. Under P2 these are the two classes. Then you have demo class which is under package P1 and demo 2 under package P2. So now if you consider protection class, okay, if we consider protection class, in which package it is defined in P1 package, right? So now when you consider this protection class, so what is the relationship between this protection class and the remaining other classes which are both in package P1 as well as package P2? So how many classes we have altogether in package P1 and P2 together? You have six classes, right? So now when you consider only this protection class, right? So we can classify the remaining five classes into four different categories. Say a class which is in the same package P1. This protection 2 is a class which is in another package, that is P2, right? And you may also have a subclass, you know the inheritance concept. Right? So some class can be a subclass for this protection class, or it may be a non-subclass, right? So whether you have subclasses or not, and whether the other classes are present in the same package or different package, so we can have these combinations like uh, class same package, class different package, non subclass same package, non subclass different package. So I'm going to classify all these remaining classes except this protection class because that is a class in which currently I am in, right? So and when you take the remaining five classes, they'll fall in any of these four categories, right? So the same package may be a subclass or non-subclass. If it is a subclass, which comes under subclass in same package category, right? So if same package is a subclass for protection class, then what is the meaning of it? It comes under which category? Subclass in same package. Okay. And if you take demo, if demo is not a subclass, for example, let us assume demo is not a subclass for protection class. Okay. Then demo class comes under which category? Non subclass in same package. Okay. Then now let me take protection class, protection 2. Say let us consider protection 2 is a subclass for protection class. You can create subclasses in other packages also, right? So protection class is defined in P1, but it has a subclass. Say for example, protection 2 is a subclass for protection class. But where are these both classes available? Superclass is in P1 package, and subclass is in P2 package. So now protection 2 comes under which category? Subclass in different package. Right? comes under subclass in different package. And when you take other package, say it is not a subclass, it is not a subclass, then which category it comes under? Non-subclass in different package. Other package is not a subclass for production class. It is a non-subclass. So it comes under non-subclass in different package. Okay. Similarly, demo 2, this is also not a subclass for production class. So this also comes under non-subclass in different package, right? So is it clear till now here, classification of different classes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now that it is clear, let me tell you about uh, use the different keywords. It is, if a class has private member, a class can have a private member, default public, protected. So you can use this private keyword default public. Default public, there is no keyword, but we call that as a default public member. Okay. And then protected keyword and public keyword, all these three keywords along with this default public category, we can use these keywords with either in front of the class name or a method name or a variable name. Say you are creating a variable called a of type integer. So normally till now what you have been doing is we are using int keyword followed by the variable name a, int a semicolon, right? So we didn't use any keyword before that integer keyword, right? So it comes under which category? Default public. So that is a default public access specifier. So in front of that int keyword, if I use this keyword private, then that variable becomes a private variable, right? Similarly, if I use protected keyword, then that variable will become a protected variable. If I use public variable, then it will become a public variable. Similarly, not just in front of variable, I can also use it in front of methods also. Just like for main method, how do we define main method? Public static void main, right? So in the same way even for methods also we can use not just public, we can also use private, we can use protected also, and if you don't use anything it will become default public. So this is what we have been doing till now. We didn't use for most of the times for methods, simply we defined them as void read, void display, like this. In front of that void we didn't use private keyword or public keyword or protected keyword, right? So all those methods will come under which one? Default public methods. Okay. Similarly, we can use this keyword public keyword for class also, but we cannot use the remaining private protected. We can use default public. Default public means if you don't use any keyword, it will automatically become default public. And we can make a class a public also, but we cannot make a class protected or private like this, right? So there is a limitation for classes. We cannot use all the keywords for classes, but for variables and methods, we can use any of these four, right? So now that you understood where to use these keywords, so if at all, if I create a private member, right? So let us consider a class, and that class can contain some members. And when I say members, it includes variables as well as methods. And that variable and method can be either private variable or default public variable or method, protected variable or method, or it can be a public variable or method. So what happens to those members if they are private, if they are default public, and if they are protected, and if they are public, right? So they have access restriction. What do you mean by access specifier? Access specifiers is going to specify, as its name indicates, whether you can use this, you can access that particular member of a class anywhere in the program or outside the program in another package, in another class, or in a subclass or a non-subclass, anywhere. You have different categories of classes, right? So when you consider packages together with classes and inheritance concept, also you'll have subclass, non-subclasses, subclass in same package, subclass in different package, non-subclass in same package, non-subclass in different package, right? So what happens to those members of a class if they are declared as private or default public or protected or public? So if a member of a class is declared as private, you cannot access that member except within the class. You cannot access anywhere. So even though this class is a non-sub it's a subclass in same package, there also you cannot access it. Okay, and here in subclass in different package also you cannot access. And in non-subclass in different same package also you cannot access it. Non-subclass in different package also you cannot access. Anywhere you cannot access. Then where you can access means only within that class. Only within the class in which you define that method or variable, there only you can access this members which are created as private. And coming to default public, so the default public, they can be accessed in subclass in same package. They can be accessed in they cannot be accessed in subclass in different package. They can be accessed in non-subclass in same package, but they cannot be accessed in non-subclass in different package, right? So where this can be used, you can access this member which is defined as default public in subclasses which are in the same package, and non-subclasses also which are in the same package also you can access. But subclass in different package and non-subclass in different package, you cannot access these members. Okay? Then coming to the next one, protected. So you can access a protected member of a class in any subclass in the same package, as well as subclass in different package also you can access it, and non-subclass in same package also you can access it, but in non-subclass in different package you cannot access it. So, and coming to public, everywhere you can access it. Everywhere you can access it in all the four categories. Along with within that class, it can also be accessed in subclass in same package, subclass in different package, non-subclass in same package, and non-subclass in different package. So which is having complete access means public. Anywhere you can access it. You can access it from within the program, outside the program, within the same class, in another class, within a subclass which is in same package, and subclass in different package. Everywhere you can access it. So public access specifier will be available in every part of the program, everywhere, even outside the program also. Coming to protected, there is only one restriction. It cannot be accessed in non-subclasses in different packages. That means what? If protection class contains a protected member, right? If this class has a protected member, then it can be accessed in same package class because it is a subclass for protection class. And it is also in the same package. And in demo class, which is not a subclass for protection, it comes under non-subclass in same package, right? uh, Here also you can access it. That means you can access it inside the package P1 in any of those classes, irrespective of whether they are subclasses or non-subclasses. Anywhere you can access within the same package. But once you go to a different package, if this protection class has a subclass, there you can access it because protection 2 is a subclass for protection class. So in this protection 2 class, I can access the members of protection class which are declared as protected. Okay, but coming to other package is not a subclass for protection, so here you cannot access. Demo 2 is also not a subclass for protection, so there also you cannot access. So protection members which are declared as protected can be accessed in same package class, demo class, and protection 2 class, but not in other package and demo 2 class. Okay, if you declare a private variable or method in protection class, then it can be accessed only within that protection class only. It cannot be accessed in same package. It cannot be accessed in demo class. It cannot be accessed in protection 2. It cannot be accessed in other package. It cannot be accessed in demo 2 also. Right? Then coming to default public, it can be accessed in all these classes which are there under P1 package. So you can access it in same package, you can access it in demo class also. But coming to P2, even though protection 2 is a subclass for protection class, you cannot access it from protection 2 because protection 2 is in a different package. So as long as you are in same package, in any other class, you can access the members which are default public. But once you go outside the package to a different package, there even if you have a subclass also, there also you cannot access. Right? Then coming to public, everywhere you can access. You can access in same package class, you can access in demo class, you can access in protection class, you can access it in other package class, you can access it in demo 2 class. Right? Everywhere you can access. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now that you understood this one, let us go into our programs that I have opened earlier to you. So let me first open the protection class. So now look at this package. How to create a package using the keyword package followed by package name ending with a semicolon. Okay. Then under this statement, how many classes I define, that many classes, all those will be automatically uh, put inside the package P1. Okay. Now I defined only one class here, this file in this program, and I'm saving this program as what? Protection.java. Right? So what is the class name? Protection. So I'm going to remove this protected keyword. I'm creating a class called protection. So earlier I did it to demonstrate how what will happen to a class if you use the keyword protected. So I saved it and executed the program and showed the output. But I didn't remove that keyword, so that's the reason why the keyword was there. So now I'm removing it. So initially, let me show without any keywords. So if you didn't use any keyword in front of this class keyword, what is the meaning of it? What is its access specifiers? It will become default public. Okay. So that means what? You can access this class. That means access means what? You can create an object for this class in any class which is in the same package P1, but you cannot create an object for this class in any class which is not in P1. Say there is another class, some other class protection 2 in P2 package. There you cannot create an object for this class because it is default. Okay. Now uh, in this class, what I am doing is I'm creating a variable int n is equal to 1. So now, what is the access specifier for this variable n? Because we didn't use any keyword, its access specifier will become default public, right? Then I'm creating another variable called n underscore pri. This is an integer variable. But what is the access specifier used for it? Private keyword is used. So this variable will become private. So where you can access this variable, you can use it only within this class protection. You cannot use this variable anywhere in any other class, even though that class is in the same package. Irrespective of whether that class is subclass or non-subclass, you cannot access it anywhere. Only within this class you can access the member. Then coming to the next variable, n underscore pro, it is assigned with value 3. It is also an integer, and its access specifier is mentioned as protect. So when you say this variable is protected, where you can access this variable, you can access this variable within the same class protection, and you can access any subclass within the same package P1, and you can access it in a non-subclass in P1, and you can also access it in a subclass in another package, say P2. Right? There also you can access. But if there is any other class which is not a subclass in other package P2, there you cannot access. Right? So, and then coming to the next variable n underscore pub, this is assigned a value 4, and this is qualified with the keyword public. So where you can access this variable n underscore pub, you can access it anywhere in any package, irrespective of whether it is subclass or non-subclass. Everywhere you can access it. So I'm creating a constructor. This constructor is also defined as public. right? So this constructor, what I am doing is I'm displaying message based constructor, then displaying the default public variable n value and private variable value, protected variable value, public variable value. All these variables I can access it within the same class. Because I am in the same class, I can access all these variables. Okay. So coming to the next one, let me show same package. Okay. Wait a minute, getting a call. About class. Look at the same package class. This is also defined in the same package P1. Okay, but I'm not making this as a subclass for any other class. This is not a subclass because I'm not using any extend scheme here. It is a non-subclass for protection. So I didn't use any public or protected keyword or private keyword for class also. And this is the constructor. And in this constructor, what I'm doing is I'm creating a object for protection class. Creating an object for protection class. And apart from creating an object, I'm also displaying a message same package constructor. So this is same package class constructor. Then after that, I'm trying to display the value of n. The value of n. Okay. So what is the value of n, and how I am accessing the value of n? Because I created an object for protection class, I'm using that object dot n. And what is the access specifier of n in protection class? It is default public. So when it is default public, where you can access within the same package. Because same package class is also defined in same package P1. So we can access this default public variable n in this class by using that object of the class protection. Right? So we have created a protection class object P. So use that object to invoke that variable P dot n. Right? Then after that, look at this statement which I put it in comments. I'm trying to print the value of private variable and underscore PRI. How to call a variable of another class or by using that object. P dot, what is the name of the variable, and underscore PRI. But if I try to access this, I'll get an error because this is illegal. Because this variable n underscore PRI is a private variable, and you can access a private variable only within the class in which that variable is created. So, in anywhere in another class, even though that class is in the same package, or even if it is a subclass within the same package also, everywhere you cannot access it. Anywhere you cannot access, except in the class in which it is defined. ఆ క్లాస్లో మాత్రమే దాన్ని యాక్సెస్ చేసుకోగలుగుతాం. ఎక్కడైతే దాన్ని డిఫైన్ చేసామో ఆ క్లాస్లో మాత్రమే దాన్ని యాక్సెస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. వేరే ఏ క్లాస్కి వెళ్ళినా కూడా యూ కెనాట్ యాక్సెస్ ఇట్. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ private, right? So when I write this statement here, this will generate an error for me. That's the reason why I put in comment illegal, and also I put this entire statement in comment so that it will be ignored. If I remove this comment, then it will generate an error for me. Okay. Then in the next system not out.println, I'm displaying protected variable, and next I'm displaying public variable. So this is completely legal because public variable can be accessed anywhere. So I can access that variable by using the object for the protection class p dot n underscore pub. And protected variable, it can be accessed within the same package anywhere in any subclass or non-subclass, and you can access it. And even in subclass in another package also you can access it. But because same package class is in same package P1 as protection classes, we can access it here. So both these two statements are legal statements. Fine. And then coming to, let me go to another class called protection demo class. So the demo class is also put inside package P1, right? And then I'm making this class as public class. This is not a subclass. It is also a non-subclass. In this, I'm creating the main method. Creating the main method. So here also I'm creating an object for production class. Object name is OB1. I'm creating another class called derived class. So I didn't open that class. Let me open that derived class. So this is another class which we didn't list out earlier. Let me show you this derived class also. So this derived class, this is also put under which package? P1 package. But this is made a subclass for which class? Protection class. So protection class is a super class for derived class. And we are creating a constructor for this derived class. So here, uh, what are the variables that I can access? Let us see. First, I'm displaying a message derived constructor. Then I'm trying to print the value of n, which is a uh, default public variable. And because derived class is a subclass for protection, I don't require object to access this variable n. Directly, I can use that variable name, right? Then coming to private variable n underscore pri, this is illegal because you cannot access a private variable anywhere outside the class. Even though it is a subclass, you cannot access it in this class also. Right? Only in that class protection you can access it. You cannot access it even in the subclass derived also, even though it is in the same package P1 also. So that is not relevant for us whether this class derived is in the same package or a separate package, or even whether it is subclass or not subclass. It doesn't matter for us. You cannot access this private variable anywhere. Right? So this will also become illegal. So that's why I put it in comment. If I remove this comment, this will generate an error for me. Then the next system out.println, I'm displaying n underscore pro protected variable and n underscore public. Both are legal because we are in the same package. Public can be accessed anywhere, right? Coming to protected, it can be accessed within the same package in any class, subclass or non-subclass, anywhere you can access it. So both these will become legal statements. Now let us go to that demo code. So in this demo class, this is also put inside the same package P. And here we are defining a main method and we are creating objects for both the classes protection and derived classes. OB1 is for protection class and OB2 is for derived class. Then I'm also creating object for same package class. Same package class object is OB3. This is a non-subclass. So when you take protection class, derived is subclass in the same package and same package is non-subclass in the same, right? So if we just create objects for these classes, automatically the constructors will be invoked. So we need not use that object to call any methods. We didn't define any methods in those programs, those classes. We just defined only constructors. And constructors will be automatically invoked when you create an object for that class, right? So that's the reason why I'm not using these objects to make any calls to any other members of the class. Then let us go to protection 2 class. So look at this protection 2 class. This is saved in a file protection2.java, and the class protection 2 is made a subclass for protection class. So look at how I'm not using import statement here because protection class is defined in which package? It is defined in package P1. But where is protection 2 class defined? It is defined in package P2. Now if you want to make this protection 2 class as a subclass for protection class which is defined in package P1, then either you need to write that import statement, import P1, or you can directly use this way. This is the second way. Okay? So I'm using the second way. If I import that package, automatically all the classes will be imported. But instead of importing all the classes, whichever class is necessary for me, I can import that package or only that class, right? So it is better to use this method. You can import that class into this package P2, then make it a superclass for protection. So after writing the extends keyword, when you are mentioning the superclass name, because this superclass protection is not defined in same package P2, it is defined in package P1. Use that package name P1 dot class name protection. Okay. So now this protection class will be automatically imported into this program. Now in this I'm defining a constructor for protection class, and I'm trying to create an object for protection class. Trying to create an object for protection class. Right. So will this be possible? Will I be able to uh, uh, create an object for protection class? Because protection class, how did we define that protection class? Any access specifier did we use? We didn't use public, private, protected, anything, right? So if you don't use, what will be the default access specifier? It will be default public. So what do you mean by default public? You can access that within the same package, subclass or non-subclass. When you go into another package, P2, there, irrespective of whether you have a subclass or non-subclass, there you cannot access it. So that means what? You cannot create an object for this class, right? You cannot create an object for this class. So this will be illegal. So let us not create an object for this class. Then using a system.out.println, I am displaying a message derived other package construct. This is a subclass, but this is in a different package. So that's why derived other package construct. Fine. And coming to accessing default public variable n, this also becomes illegal. Why? Because default public variable can be accessed only within any class within the same package. But when you go to a different package, you cannot access it. Because we are in package P2, this will be illegal. Because it can be accessed only either in the class or in the package within the same package. When you go outside the package, you cannot access it anywhere. Right? And coming to the private variable, because private variable can be accessed only within the same class, it cannot be accessed in anywhere in any other class. This will become illegal. Coming to this protected class, this will become legal because protection 2 is a subclass. Even though this protection 2 is in different package P2, because protection variable can be accessed anywhere except in the non-subclass in other package. Because protection 2 is a subclass in other package, it can be accessed, so it is legal. Public member can be accessed from anywhere, right? So that's why this also will become legal. So what are illegal? Default public variable and private variable n. Accessing these two variables will become illegal in this protection 2 class. So now let us go to other package class. Now this other package is also defined in package P2. Other package is neither a subclass nor of any class within the same package nor a different package. So it is an exclusive class. So I'm defining a constructor for this class. I'm trying to create an object for protection class here, right? And displaying a message. We cannot do this here also. I'll modify this one because protection class is default public class. Right? So you cannot access it here. You cannot create an object for the protection class here. Right? Okay. Now I'm displaying a message system.out.println other package constructor, and when you try to access, I created a object here, right? So using that object, I'm trying to access uh, what type of variable? Default public variable. So this will become illegal because default public can be accessed only within the package, and private member also cannot be accessed because it can be accessed only within the class. Even protected member also cannot be accessed because this class other package is not a subclass for protection class, right? So only thing that we can access here is public variable n underscore pub, except that the remaining all the three variables cannot be accessed. The same rule applies even for methods also. So I have shown you just variables, like even if you define methods also in the same way, either private, public, protected, or default public, the same rule will be applied. So here you are accessing the variable name by using the object name dot variable name. In case of methods, you will use, instead of variable name, you will use here method name. Method will be called. So the same rule will be applied for all these things. Now let me go to the demo2 class. In the demo2 class, the main method is defined. This is also in package P2. So we are creating objects for protection 2 class OB1, other package OB2. So these constructors will be in. Okay. So now let us compile these programs and run these programs one after another. So we have created all the package classes demo, demo2. So we additionally created the package protection, protection 2, same package, same. So these two are not part of our action programs. Totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 files. Right. So now let us see how to compile them and run them. You know how to compile the program. Compile first. So what is that I need to use? Dot dot java. So this is successfully compiled. We can only compile this file. This is an important point you need to understand here because there is no main method. To try to run this program after compiling, you will get an exception, right? Because there is no main method, you cannot run the program. So in any program that you create, there must be a main method, right? But if you observe here in these programs, there is no main method. So can we run this program? We cannot run. We can only compile this program. Fine. So all the files take a same package. Here also you don't have main method. So this also you can only compile it. Derived class. Here also you don't have main method. So you can only compile this program. Even protection 2. Here also you don't have main method. So you can only compile this one. Coming to other package class. So this file also does not have main method. So you can only compile this one. Which one you can compile and run both means demo and demo2.java. So only these two programs you can compile and both run. So let me compile next in package.java. So this also can only compile. Let me see. The package P1 is created. Both the dot class files for protection same package are generated after compilation. So now let us compile the next class derived.java. See derived.class file is also generated. Now what to compile? Demo.java. Now this is also compiled. You can see demo.class. Now that you have completed all the four .java files which are in the same package P1. So let me run them also. Because main method is contained in demo.java, so I can only run that one. I cannot run the remaining. Java space use p1.demo. Look at the output of this program. Let me go to the demo.java file. See, we are creating objects for the three different classes: protection, derived, and same. So when you create objects for these classes, automatically the constructors for all the three classes will be invoked. So first, which constructor will be executed? Protection constructor, then derived constructor, and then same package constructor. So let us go to those protection constructors. So protection constructor, what is it going to display? First, it is going to display base constructor, and then it is going to display all the four variable values. Okay. Now you can see base constructor displayed and all the four variables: default public variable, private variable, protected variable, and public variable values. Okay. So after that, in the main method, you are creating object for which class? Derived class. And because derived class is a subclass for protection class, automatically what will happen? Both the constructor of derived class will be executed, as well as base class constructor also will be executed. That is superclass constructor, that is protection also will be executed. So which one will be executed first? Superclass constructor will be executed first, then subclass constructor will be executed. So once again, what will happen? The output is, after once the base constructor class is executed, when the object for base class is created, that is protection class object is created, this is executed. But when derived class object is created, the derived class object will invoke uh, derived constructor, but the derived constructor in turn will invoke which constructor? Superclass constructor. So once again, protection constructor will be executed, and that will display again the same base constructor and all the four variable values. And after that, derived constructor also will be executed. So in the derived constructor, we can only access default public variable, protected variable, and uh, public variable. We cannot access the private variable. So that's why we put that in comment, right? So I'll come back to that again, and I'll remove the comment and compile the program again and see, show you the error for you. But for now, let me explain this output. So this is when derived constructor object is created. Now what is the next object that we created? Same package object. So when you go to same package object, so the constructor, it is creating protection object, then displaying a message, same package constructor, then it is accessing default public variable and public and protected variable. Right? So that's why, what is this doing? Base constructor. Yeah. So we are calling now, we are creating object for protection class, right? So again, the base class constructor will be executed and displays this message. All the four variables are displayed. And after that, same package constructor displays this message same package constructor, and it will display only default public variable, protected variable, and public. Right? Understood? Till here it is clear, right? Now let me make a change to that in same package derived, derived package. So let me remove this here. Private variable, right? Now I'll compile this program again. What is it doing? Displaying a message. Line number 9, 3 errors. System dot out dot println. It is showing one error. So what is that error? N underscore PRI has private access in protection. So you cannot access that N underscore PRI, right? So you will get an error here because this is illegal. So let us put this back in com. Now compile it again. So the error will be gone. In the same way, a subclass also. What is a subclass? What is a non-subclass? Let us go to same package. Here also, I'll remove this private variable access here. Let me compile this again. Also generates an error for me here because I'm trying to access private variable which has no access in protection. Okay, let me put this back to compile it. You will not get any error. Fine. So let us now go to second package P2. We have protection class .java. So let me compile this. So let me go to the program. Line number 2, protection is not public in P1, cannot be accessed from outside package. So class protection 2 extends P1 dot protection. This itself is generating an error. Protection 2 is extending P1 dot protection. What type of class is protection? Is it a public or private or protected or default public? Because we didn't use any keyword there in protection class. This is a protection. Did we use any keyword in front of this class? So if we don't use, what will be its access specifier? It will be default public. So when it is default public, you cannot access it here. Okay. So now that's the reason why you're getting error. Protection is not public. P1. It must be either public, then it must be a public class. Then only you can create an object here for this class. That is the reason you're getting an error here. Second error is cannot find symbol n underscore pro. Why this error is coming? Because this statement itself is generating an error, and if this is generating an error, this protection class will not be imported. And if it is not imported, if you try to access these variables for the class from the class which you didn't import into your class, then it will generate an error, right? So that's the reason why you're getting errors here and underscore pro and underscore pro, right? So in both these places you're getting an error. Now to solve this problem, what we need to do is we need to make this class public. Okay? Once you make this class as public, then you compile the class first. First you compile this protection class. Then now compile protection2.java. Now see both the classes were compiled successfully, right? So now what if I make this class as protected? Protection will have access in same package as well as subclass, right? But even though in subclass you can access it, but before you create a subclass, that must be made a subclass, right? This class. So even if you use it protected also, this will not work. Let me first compile protection. Modifier protected not allowed here. Okay, so you cannot use protected access specifier in front of a class, right? And even you cannot use a private also. Modifier private not allowed here, right? But if you don't use any keyword, it will become default public. So this is permitted, right? And if you use public also, this will be permitted. So what you must understand is, for a class, in front of a class, you can use either public keyword or don't use any keyword. But don't try to use private or protected keyword for a class. So private protected keywords are meant only for variables and methods. They are not meant for classes. So for class, only public keyword is meant, and if you don't use any keyword, then it will be automatically default. So class can have only two types of access specifiers: public access specifier and default access specifier. It cannot have private access specifier or protected access specifier. This I told you earlier, right? Fine. Now that I made this public, in protection 2, I can make this protection class as a super class for protection 2 class. Right? Let me compile it again. After making public, we will compile. Right? So after compiling this, now I'm going to compile protection 2 Java. So that also will be compiled. So now because protection 2 is compiled, so what is happening? What we have done in protection 2, we created an object for protection class. This will be now permitted. I can remove this comment. Right? This is compiled. Let me compile this protection 2 once again because I need to remove that comment. Right. Now let us go to other package. Compile this other package. So this is also compiled. P2 created and both the class files are related to protection as well as other package. So what is left over? We are left over with demo2. Demo2.java. So you cannot run protection2.java and other package2.java because both these classes are not having main method. I can run demo2.java. How to run the program? Java space package name is p2, right? p2.demo. Now look at this. Let's go to demo2 class. So what you're doing in demo2, you're creating objects for protection2 and other package. So when you create an object for protection2, the constructor of protection2 will be invoked. Because protection2 is a subclass for protection class, the constructor of protection class also will be invoked. So first you will get a message and variable displaying values of all the variables of protection class. Then protection2 constructor will be displaying its message and its variables, right? Fine. So the output, first you'll have base constructor, which is a message displayed by protection class constructor in package p1. So that will display all the four variables, right? Then you're creating, go to protection class. When this protection class constructor is invoked, this is displaying all this. So that's why you got all this. Now let us go to other package. Other package, what is it doing? Again, this is also creating a object for protection class, right? So protection class automatically invokes this protection constructor. So again, the output once again base constructor message will be displayed and all the four variables will be displayed, right? And this will display also derived class constructor because this is derived other package constructor. Class derived other package constructor in protection. This message will be displayed. And then these two variables values must be displayed. So you have protected variable and public variable values, right? And in other package again, because protection class is created, object is created, so this base constructor will be again displaying its message and it will display all the four variables. After that you have a other package constructor message, then this will display only one variable, the public variable. So you have only and display public, right? So this is how access specifiers together with inheritance and packages. This is the reason why I didn't discuss about public all these access specifiers earlier, even though I introduced a little bit. I didn't use them till now. Once we uh, know these know these inheritance concepts, we may not understand the complete these so there is one more topic which is interlinked with this packages concept.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Yashwant.
Sir, voice మొత్తం బ్రేక్ అయింది సార్. హలో.
Okay, okay. Now is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All these topics are interlinked with each other. That is what I'm saying. Access specifiers, inheritance, and packages are interlinked together. Along with these three, there is one more topic which is interlinked with each other, that is in interfaces. But even if we don't complete that interface topic, we can have a discussion about these access specifiers. So that's the reason why I taught this concept today. So after these packages, now next topic that we are going to see is interfaces concept, right? So once you see interfaces, then we'll complete the concept of inheritance and packages all together as a single unit, right? So we'll meet again tomorrow. So is it clear? You have any doubts?
I will go through this video and I'll let you know by tomorrow, sir. My doubts.
Okay, okay, right. So tomorrow morning we'll meet again.
Okay, sir.